Hi, this is Lisa Guthrie. I'm in front of the church and Elizabeth Gregory home, and there is a plot, and I was threatened by Marilyn, the volunteer, and it's a plot. Hi, this is Lisa Guthrie, and this is University Lutheran Church. It's a big mostly blood, it attracts bloods. And Marilyn is an older female, and she is connecting in a conspiracy with an officer, Bobby, and he connects with Bloods and Zetas that have tried to harm me at my apartment at 10507 Aurora Avenue North, Seattle, Washington, 98133, and I'm in Unit 329. Now, note that everybody's a zombie, and there is, of course, a needle plot. I was threatened with slavery by some disturbed, ugly, hideous sorority females today. None of them are normal. They're all zombies. And so there is a plot, and Marilyn's in on it. She's an old female. She's got silver gray hair, and she was saying, we're going to take one more thing from you, and that is either raping or killing. And then she said, you're not going to be so blah 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 when you're an amputee. So Marilyn at a University Lutheran Church, Elizabeth Gregory home, threatened with amputation. She's an older female, and by the way, she's trusted, and she works for an agency, house cleaning. These are all zombies. There's not one left, and the plot has been to put the apartment and to force me to stay in and to starve me and to have me drink the befouled water that has had sewage dumped in it. And the last thing I heard was they thought they'd have a plot of dumping in 21 different types of poisons. And it's 21 different types, and they produce different results, including some will hurt you neurologically. The neurological one was used on me 13 years ago, and I would seizure. It was also in my shampoos, and I became allergic to everything. Now I'm going to get some supplies before I go home, back to that hideous place. I might not go back directly, and it's best to stay away. It also shows that I'm not afraid to leave the place. And I've been threatened. I was threatened. I showed an aggressive male this afternoon who thought he'd prevent me from talking about Aurora DSC. But the policeman that is a dirty cop links to it's Officer Bobby from the West Precinct. So he's actually come to 10507 Aurora Avenue North, Seattle, Washington, 98133. I'll tell you the procedure. When there's a dirty cop, they'll stay hidden, or they'll count on the fact that the victim will be ignorant about the fact that they're out of jurisdiction, off duty. So that's the procedure of the gangs. When you call the police, they have the gang members answer the phone or answer the call. And Marilyn was stating today, I heard her say they think they're so sneaky, but she said we'll have the right 911 operator. So for 13 years, whenever anything's happened to me, by the way, certain 911 operators would pretend, and by the way, these are all zombies, and this thing just said you're going away. They're all zombies. They died 13 years ago. They fell with Satan. And the poisons, by the way, there are constant threats about Europe, and these poisons that they talked about, the 21, they're being used in Europe, and there's a huge plot by black Nazis and other inferiors, such as like the white morons and the white zombies and crack whores. They want to take over the earth. So, but there's a huge black Nazi faction within Bloods and Zetas, and they've made the whites into utter morons. Now, I'm not feeling good lately. Remember, there have been poisons dumped in my water. Also sewage. Also, there are freaks that while I try to take a shower, you'll hear one of them going, and then they'll ejaculate into the water. Officer has done that, and Dr. Jaffe's son. Dr. Jaffe is a psychiatrist who is in on gang activity, including Blood's activity. But definitely, Officer Bobby will sneak around out of precinct, and there's a big plot this weekend, and it is a weekend of checks when people's checks come in, like next week. So the drug addicts are linking with Officer Bobby. They're desperate to get a hold of checks. And Officer Bobby supplies, and these are all, I get my facts from gang members threatening me and taunting me, and from what they've actually done to me. So I'm at the university area. This is Safeway, corner of 50th. That's not the address. It's actually Brooklyn.
Okay, bud.
Now, nobody's normal. Count on it. And I have been threatened and sprinkled with class for going shopping. The plot was to starve me in my apartment and have me drink the befouled water, or have me out by the garbage can while people use my apartment and my check, my storage. And Dr. Jaffe's in on it, and Officer Bobby. And if Officer Bobby comes up to that area, he's not even in the right precinct, which is common with dirty cops. They'll do that. There's a guy at Safeway in Brooklyn, and he just played Woeful. There was a checker, he's playing Woeful Pleasure, that's he. And there were 3 white guys talking about how they were going to cut, quote, her backpack. They're all zombies. This is in the U District. This is in Seattle, Washington, and it's Brooklyn Safeway. They're all Bloods and Zetas and Asian Street Gang. And I'm the only non-zombie, believe it. And some other guys were talking about entering people's apartments and telling the checker on the end with the glasses that if they did something, it helps save on electricity. So there's always this kind of thing going on where these zombies pretend it helps people to harm me.